Welcome back to In Your Neighborhood. Several weeks after our courthouse investigation, I met with Rich Roselle of the CRPT to discuss their analysis of the data. Over 1,100 still camera images were reviewed, and none of them demonstrated any anomalies. Analysis of the digital recorders did reveal a few interesting things. The first clip came from the first rotation in a third-floor hallway.
You folks were upstairs with us, with Megan, myself, and Gary, and it seems that during a conversation, somebody wanted to join in with us.
I'm a little disturbed by that, I'm not even gonna lie.
Get the cops to show up.
There they are again.
Let's take another listen to that.
Get the cops to show up.
There they are again.
Did you hear what I heard?
Did you hear at the very
Something
end?
about louder. Something about louder.
We had 3 other recorders running up there at that time. The other 3 did not capture that.
Whose recorder was that?
That was mine.
Was I?
You were there with
I was going to
us.
say, I was standing there because I remember
We were talking about
I was trying to figure out the police not coming because
Karen usually has with the flashes that go through the windows.
right,
Yeah.
and that Trevor had told the 911 people.
Right, the sheriff's department. on
Right,
that.
so it was in
the third floor
upstairs
hallway, outside of probation.
Oh, okay, right,
We were
yes.
right at the end where you would go up to the attic in that little.
Yep, where we
area
were
right
standing there because you'd set the camera up there. It was
Right.
standing right in there.
I had 3 other investigators listen to it, and we couldn't decipher exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, remember the idea is that they're usually a little bit off frequency
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit off phase, if you will, because they're not in the same plane we're in.
Okay. Fascinating. That was actually creepier than the whole ghost hunt. 4 hours in the courthouse. That was creepier. A few minutes later, Megan's recorder picked up this clip.
Maybe it's just like it's thundering, but it wasn't thundering. There was maybe a truck going by up. The truck went by, we didn't even hear it, and it was loud. So like something was getting.
It's funny because it does sound like it's out of place. I didn't hear what it was. I just heard a place in there where it sounded different.
I'm going to play it again and listen a little bit closer, and then I
Okay.
do have it amplified also.
Okay.
And when we get to the video, there's an interesting story that goes with this.
Maybe it's just like it's thundering, but it wasn't thundering. There was maybe a truck going by up. The truck went by, we didn't even hear it, and it was loud. So like something was getting.
As we said, that showed up on Megan Lunger's digital recorder at about 9:27 p.m. At 9:15 that evening, Lisa Lunger, Megan's mom, said this during an EVP session on the 2nd floor.
If you don't want to interact with us here in this room, I have a younger daughter up on the 3rd floor. Her name is Megan. Can you go whisper her name into her ear?
And within 10 minutes, on that next floor, is when we got the hello or the hi in the EVP.
Wow.
And it was Megan, and it was her recorder.
Dave Byler picked up the following during an EVP session he did in the bell tower.
Listen to his question and then listen after very carefully, and then the second question the same.
Okay.
Were you wrongfully accused or wrongfully imprisoned? If so, tell me. Clear your name. Use me to clear your name.
From the infrared camera set up at the end of the 1st floor hall, we have these 3 clips. They are put together, but they all occurred within a 5-minute time period.
That camera was set up before we started and ran all the way through and beyond when the investigation was over, and those sounds were never repeated.
Right.
We didn't hear anything else like voices that would have been that close or that loud or that significant. Nobody else on the floors reported it. That at that point, in fact, the three of us were up in the tower.
Right.
And we didn't hear any yells from outside. I mean, we saw lots of people watching us up through the windows and
Right,
stuff.
and we also didn't have, like, nobody came over their walkie and said,
Did anybody yell?
who yelled?
And
Nobody on 3 floors reported that. And I'm pretty sure, at least for, it's hard, you know, if you're trying to guess, like, where did that come from? You know, location-wise, it didn't sound like it was right there on the first floor. I mean, if
Right.
we're that camera and we're standing on the first floor next to the camera and we heard that, that was not on the first floor. It would have been on one of the other floors where we were.
right, and
Up or down.
remembering that camera was at the end of the one hallway, so somebody would have had to walk behind it and you would have heard that. Or they would have had to come down from the steps from upstairs towards us.
Right.
Same camera, about 20 after 10
Okay.
on the first floor.
Okay.
All the other investigators were on either the second, we flip-flopped.
Right.
We were down on the second floor in the courtroom.
Right.
Dave and Karen and that crew were up on the third floor in the bell tower. And we picked up this.
So that's the evidence. What's the conclusion?
You know, is the Montour County Courthouse haunted? I can't say that. We don't have enough. We depend everything on the documentable evidence. And there's not enough tangible evidence to say there's a haunting of any kind, whether intelligent, poltergeist, residual, or whatever. Is there something paranormal going on? There's obviously paranormal, meaning other than normal. There is some activity. They're of some type. It doesn't seem to have any malintent or anything like that. But we remember that entities and spirits aren't like actors. They're not on stage or like you have to make your time for your show on time. They show up when they want to and they have all the best hiding spots.
Regardless of the results, we had a really good time doing our courthouse ghost hunt. In fact, we had so much fun that we asked CRPT to investigate yet another Danville office building, the CATV offices right here at 115 Mill Street. That's coming up right after the break.